speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak on it. Welcome to speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog?
Ooh, gotta cut the mic on. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kurt Dog. I'm M. Who You With, Kurt Dog. Shout out to my boy Sean Martin for coming up with a theme song. Man, that's great. So, it's what's the night? Tuesday night. A lot of stuff going on. Gonna talk about Louisville, Kentucky, the state of emergency. Amy Barrett. Yeah. We'll talk about that Trump top pick for the Supreme Justice, Betsy DeVos. Yeah, we're going to talk about her too. So you can chat live with us in the chat room. Want to welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. You can chat live with us everywhere except Twitter. So right now, going on in Louisville, Kentucky, they order a state of emergency, getting prepared for the decision if they're going to charge these officers or not. Which they should charge them. They should have been charged a long time ago. I guess about 30 minutes ago, I posted on my Facebook page the email, one of the sergeant that is waiting to see if he's going to get charged or not. I posted it on Facebook, and it's kind of fishy like. So if you on Facebook, definitely take the opportunity to read that email and see what you think about it. And he said some things. I'm like, well, this dude really kind of shaky on it. He got some stuff wrong, and I'm gonna actually pull it up, read a little bit from it. Said, LMPD family, I'm not here to give you rah-rah. You got this speech. I'm not here to tell you that you signed up to help this community and to keep your head up. I'm here to tell you I'm sorry you have to go through this. I'm sorry for your family. Have to go through this. I'm sorry the mayor, Amy Hiss, and Chief Conrad failed all of us. Well, you made a decision to actually fire that shot. And you brought up on charges for the simple fact that y'all killed the innocent person, which could have been avoided if you actually did your homework. And what I mean about doing your homework, if y'all would have verified the warrant, or better yet, would not have lied to get the warrant, you would have known that the person y'all was looking for was already in jail. So y'all made that choice to go ahead with the warrant. And then on top of that, y'all try to lie, try to get the ex-boyfriend to lie for y'all to say that she was part of it. That's already corruption. You lied to the judge to get the warrant. Then y'all try to convince the boyfriend, offer him a plea deal that if he lied and said she was part of it, he would get a lower time. So that's too much corruption going on. And whoever made that order for him should have charges brought up on him. Intimidating a witness, trying to falsify documents again. So bottom line is, you deserve what you get. Y'all should be in jail. Should have been in jail. It shouldn't have took this long before y'all go to the grand jury. Now, Louisville, what they done is basically took the time to board up all the business, all the buildings and everything in case anything pop off. Now, it can go both ways. They could come back with a conviction. It'll be a peaceful protest. But then you have the other side may be upset because of the conviction. But then again, they could come back with no conviction. That peaceful protest may not end that well. So if you didn't put yourself in that position, we wouldn't be where we are today. If the cops are held accountable for their actions, we wouldn't have this problem. And see, the problem is, for me, this have gone on way too long. This have happened too many times. Too many innocent lives have been taken and nothing been done. And then if an officer is found guilty, they get a slap on the wrist. Look at Amber Gallagher, 10 years for murder. Roy Oliver, I think he got 15 years for murder. And they both lied about the incident. Try to change the story. And I'm not saying all cops. I'm talking about the bad ones. Like, for instance, with Roy Oliver, I believe it was his partner that said, no, that's not what happened. Then the body cam shows something different too. Well, with Louisville, somehow the body cam wasn't on. Different documents come up missing. And here we are, over 6 months, and they haven't charged them yet. So we definitely need to bring these officers to justice and take them to trial. If they found guilty, well, they need to do the time. That's the way the system is wrote. But unfortunately, there's always that small percent where nothing may not happen. And I pray and hope they hold these officers accountable. Because if not, it's not going to be good. I'm just saying. And people is on the edge. I've been watching the protests going on now. Need to do what's right. Bring them to justice. They need to go to jail for killing this young lady. Now, as for Amy Barrett, yeah, I told y'all, I guess it was Sunday, where we really have to pay attention to this Supreme Justice nominee. Like I said before, RBG body was cold. They was already talking about replacing her. And from my understanding from the reports, Amy Barrett as the top candidate for it. And the reason why, because she could be the vote to roll back the abortion rights, Roe versus Wade, and also the Affordable Care Act. See, the problem is with that, and I heard this on a talk show today, with the Affordable Care Act, well, with insurance, period. Should it really be tied to our jobs? Or should it be something that should automatic go into place? Last night, Radio from Canada, he actually mentioned that in Canada, everybody have health care paid for. Now, when you tie it into your job, what about the ones that don't work? What about the ones that don't work, that don't have a job, or the ones that have retired, or the ones unable to work? How will they get health care? Welcome to the show, Radio. I called your name, you showed up. He said, I heard today they're going to ram through filling the seat before the election. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And we need to prevent that. Which a lot of these same people that want to fill the seat real fast. Welcome to the show, Davis. 77057. Yes, this is live. It is a live show. You can chat with us during the show. We are live. Just be respectful. I know this is probably your first time here, but you're more than welcome to come in, chime in on anything we're talking about. Give your opinion. You can chat live with us in the chat room, and we will discuss it. Also, I know I get a lot of people from certain platforms. They want to kind of be racist a little bit. Not saying that's you, but other than that, it's an open platform. As long as you're not getting racist with it, it's an open platform. Because all of us have our own opinion. But yeah, they trying to push this through because they feel like Amy Barrett is the key to get Roe versus Wade, overturned, and also to deal with the Affordable Act. Davis 77057. Are you streaming on multiple platforms or just Twitch? No, you can find us on YouTube also. YouTube, Facebook, preferably YouTube, and you can chat live with us on both of them. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. I will follow you back. Radio said, do you think Trump is going to contest the election result and use the Supreme Court to stop the counting of the ballots? Probably will. He already said he knows he's going to lose this election. Chris Wallace asked him, I guess last month when they did an interview, Chris Wallace asked if he lost, will he leave the White House? He said, I don't know. A lot of people say they probably have to drag him out. And probably going to have to drag him out kicking and streaming, trying to stay in there. But if you lose, you lose. Welcome to the show, Charles Hunt. Thank you for watching. And anyone else that's watching that I didn't get a chance to acknowledge, welcome to the show. If you put in the chat that you on the show, I can shout out to you immediately. So definitely put it on. But yeah, I think he's gonna use everything he can. There you go, Charles. I see you. Say hello, cousin. But yeah, I really think Trump is gonna do everything he can to try to stay. One thing that's not working for him, because they've been monitoring Russia and they've been paying attention, saying they trying to mess with the election, and because of that, he know he don't have a good chance of winning without Russia interfering in this one. So because of that, he have to come up with a different way. And radio said, "Wow, I never seen anything like this before in the election." Well, we never seen anything like Trump before either, of a president. So it's going to be interesting. It will really be interesting. And I just I don't know. Some people said he probably going to have to go out in shackles, because he already know once he get out of office, it's charges coming up on him. And that's what he's afraid of. Trump, like I said, I don't support the man. No, excuse me. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Welcome to the show, D. Pat. He said Trump is scared of something. Could be criminal charges or maybe Russia. Probably a little bit of both. But he is like a wild animal backed into a corner and would do anything to win. You're exactly right. Hey, you are exactly right. He will try to do anything. How they say, don't back a raccoon in a corner. That's a bad combination. It won't end well. So, but Trump, I don't know. What a lot of people forgot about Trump. Trump said early, when he was first elected, he wanted to go to war. He wanted to have a war. But this is also the same person that lied to keep from going to war. But then he also talked about how our fallen soldiers that was killed or injured or got caught. Welcome to the show, David Hunt. Thank you for watching. The ones that got caught, he called them weak. So, but we're talking about a person that lied about a foot spur before you didn't have to go to war. Trump is really nervous. That's why he don't want his taxes to come out, because once they come out, you're going to see all the payoff he have actually done, trying to keep people quiet. I think his niece really told the truth in her book, Mary Trump, when she said he's a sick person. He needs some help. I really felt like that was the truth. Your family know you better than anybody. We always had that family member. Everybody know they're not playing with a full deck. So Trump is definitely nervous. Also, D. Pat, I believe this is your first time. Definitely like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. Dirty Son, Big Bag of Tricks. Welcome to the show. The family knows. You're right. The family do know. I know my family member, some of them might say I might be the one that have issues, but that's because I'm just straight up honest and speak my mind. I don't lie. I'm not good at lying, never been good at lying. You ask me more than 2 times, I'm gonna tell the truth. So because of that, people like, you too honest. What is too honest? You too confident in yourself. If you're telling the truth, you have to believe in yourself. So that's the way I see it. Radio said if Trump was a boxer, he would go down doing the doing the instruction. Yep, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Dirty son, big bag of tricks. LOL. I could definitely see that, and I appreciate y'all for coming on. Definitely, yeah, subscribe to the channel, like it, share it with a friend, and click the notification for oh, I see big bag of trick. I already did it. Make sure your page is not private. I will follow you back, so definitely make sure it's not private. He said it made me sad how Trump has drove a spike into our country. Yes, he really have. We always had a race problem, but now it's so open. It's open because of the racist thing that Trump have done in the past and what he continued to do. From the fact of him getting sued back in the 80s, 90s, not wanting minorities to live in his high rise. That was the first one. And he was sued several times about that. Then when Central Park 5 happened, here we go again. Central Park 5, he took out that ad saying they should be lynched. Took out a whole page, and these guys was innocent. They spent all those years in prison for a crime they did not commit. But you have somebody who looked at part of the story and turn around and convict them just because of the color of their skin. You never used to be able to look at someone and tell their political party. Now you can. Oh yeah, especially now. Now it doesn't make a difference because people, they just flat out tell you, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I'm all about who's best for me and my family and my community. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, but who had the best record. That's why it's important for us to get a welcome to the show, Gabrielle Marie. Welcome to the show. Like, share with a friend. That's why it's important for us to actually before the early voting start, print out you a sample ballot for your area. See who's on there. Do your research of each one. Find out who's running in your precinct. Do your homework. Find out. And when you go to the poll, you can take that sample ballot to the poll. Only thing you got to do is mark off the person that you already unchose. And that's it. And speaking of the election, today is National Voter Registration Day. Hopefully everyone took the opportunity. If you haven't got registered, get registered. Here in Texas, you have until October the 5th to get registered to vote. If you have a felon on your record, if you're not paying any dues, if you have paid all your dues, not if you're not paying them, if you paid all your dues, you're not on papers, check on vote.org to actually find out if you can get your voting rights back. It only takes a couple of seconds. Click on your state, answer a couple of questions, and it'll tell you if you can vote in your state. Shout out to Texas, according to D. He's in Houston. From Houston. That's what I'm talking about. H Town in the house. The Conservative Party here in Canada is nowhere near the extreme right like the Republican are. The bottom line, any bills that are made, any laws that are made, well, I can't really say that. They're supposed to affect everyone. But unfortunately, in the U.S., the laws and bills that are made, they're going to affect mostly black and brown people. Because we can see the difference where you can have a black guy or a Hispanic guy do a crime, but then you let a white guy do the same crime. Black and Hispanic finna get longer time. White guy might get probation, less time, whatever it may be. That's kind of like I forgot the guy's name. It was a killing up in, man, I forgot the city. During a ride, a brother was shot and killed. Well, they end up getting ready to arrest the guy that shot and killed him for manslaughter. But he decided to take the easy way out, and he killed himself. And I forgot the guy's name, but it just came out a couple of days ago. But a lot of time, like for instance, last week, the Tulsa, Oklahoma shooting came out. They finally released the body cam of that shooting. Well, they released it. 2 officers were shot. One, the guy stood over him, shot and killed that officer. And when they caught the guy, he was able to be arrested. Well, they hit him a couple of times, but he didn't die. If that was a black or brown person, it never would have got that far. Never would have. First thing we would have heard, it was a shootout, and he was dead. He was killed. And that's unfortunately how it is. We see this happen so often. Just like in California a couple of weeks ago, the brother riding the bike had some type of bike violation, and they end up shooting and killing. Okay, they said he had a bag of clothes. Bag of clothes fell. It was a gun in it, but he wasn't reaching for the gun. But because they seen the gun, they shot and killed him. We've seen videos where some white guys have actually shot at policemen, done a lot of things to them, and nothing happened. Look at the school shooting, or the shooting in El Paso. Was it last year, where the guy drove from Frisco, I believe, all the way to El Paso, shot up the Walmart. They treated him like everything was okay. And the church shooting in North Carolina several years back, once they caught that guy, they took him to Burger King. So it's a different type. And since y'all are on YouTube, look at the video, white justice versus black justice. We talked about different cases and compared different cases where it was different outcomes in it. So it's definitely it's a different in the justice with everyone. And now you have Amy Barrett. Let me see, because I haven't heard anything on it lately. I know they was trying to get out of jail at one point. The 2 killers were trying to get out, So, like I tell people all the time, we are a live show. So, sometimes we may different question may come up. We just have to stop and Google it and see. Um, duh, 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 duh. Last thing I see, mm, duh, duh. I guess in June. Well, no, hold on. Let me see. Trying to pull it up now. So we are a live show, and sometimes we have to. Last I see in August, they request to be out on bond. I don't see anything that say they was allowed to get bond, which they shouldn't. Um, Definitely should not get out at all, um, because it's just a matter of time before they do it to someone else, and it shouldn't be like that. Yeah, that was in August the 11th where they was trying to get out on bond. Oh, uh, let me look at this one. One came out in September. Let me see what this one is. No, no, just saying that they was trying to get out on bond, but as of what I can see now, they're still in jail. They're still in jail where they need to be, because they are murderers. They killed that man in cold blood, all because he was jogging in the neighborhood and he went into a house that was under construction, but the cameras can clearly see he did not take anything. And they automatically assume he was breaking and stealing into this house, and they took justice into their own hands. So they should remain in jail. Um, this happens so often where people think just because you white with a gun, you can do what you want to do. Several months back, we did a show with a guy outside of Atlanta. He actually talked about um, he actually this happened after Breonna Taylor killing, if I'm not mistaken. And the video is on there. But this guy, he walked into a bar full of people. A bar full of people. He actually walked in and he ended up dropping one of his clips for his gun. Dropped one of them. And it was later found out he was very intoxicated. Then he also turned around, allegedly made threats of killing all the black people in that bar. And he was charged for disorderly conduct, and I forgot the other charge. I do have the paperwork on it. So, and I need to follow back up with the guy who actually did it. He may actually be listening to the show, and if you have any updates, definitely put it in the chat. But I had the guy that got into an incident with him. Oh, I know what it was. He had another charge because he told the police detective that he used the N word trying to provoke someone to get into a fight with him. And basically, he was trying to do another George Floyd. Because if someone would have tuck him up on that offer and got into a physical fight with him, he would have said he feared for his life and shot them. Now, also, this guy was very drunk. The police was called out. Even while the police was there in the video, while the police was there, you could see him trying to cause problems with other people that was there, calling them out, trying to fight them while the police was there. And then, only thing they did, they took his gun from him and let him go home in an Uber. And that's all I'm going to say. They took his gun from him and let him go home in an Uber. Now, I just feel like if that was me, I wouldn't have that same opportunity. I'm drunk, have a loaded pistol, making threats of killing people in this business. And the only thing y'all did was take the gun from him and let him go home in an Uber. Something sound kind of fishy about that. So, not quite sure if it is, but he was licensed to carry. He was licensed to carry. I do know that. And from my understanding, what they're going to try to do is get him convicted and make sure he's not licensed to carry anymore. Get his license removed from him. I can find out if they are a stand your ground state. I'm not really sure. Let's see. It say look like it is. They one of the there's actually 35 states that are stand your ground, and look like Georgia is one of them. But the whole key is with that whole incident, the dude was drunk, very drunk. He didn't get arrested for public intoxication because he was drunk. The only thing they did, took his gun, got his information, let him call a Uber, and let him go home. So with that being said, he could have easily got in that Uber, went home, got another gun, and came back and did exactly what he said he was going to do. So that's that white privilege that we talk about. Because I feel if it was anybody else, no, that would not have happened. I've heard judges say in legal opinion that they are concerned with how some citizens are interpreting stand your ground law. Yes. Like for instance, George Floyd, he harassed Trayvon Martin. He followed this dude. Never should have done that. If he was concerned if he should be there, there's a way you could do that. If he's not committing a crime, why are you stopping him in the first place? That's just like, now, this particular guy is not the only one doing things like this. Some of them, they will come up. All the Karen and Kens we see in these videos getting up in people's face, they do the same thing. Now, I don't know if they're Karen, but some of them may be carrying a pistol, just trying to provoke someone. Matter of fact, out of Arkansas, last month, there was a lady in there. Apparently, two ladies got into it. And the one woman who was the aggressor, she would quit to pull out her gun in the middle of Walmart. So the thing is, some people it's not fit to pull out to be able to carry a weapon because mentally they not there. They feel like because they have these guns, they on top of the world, they're above the law, and they don't want to follow the law. All because you able to carry this pistol, but you cannot do that. You will be held accountable for it. Well, some of them will be held accountable. So, exactly. Mike Draca was another idiot who didn't understand stand your ground. Not familiar with that name. Is that somebody in Canada or is that another case? Let me pull them up real quick, see if I can. Da, 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 da. Okay. Sentenced to 20 years in, I guess, Clearwater, Florida. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. He's the one, I believe it was a pregnant woman parked in a handicap spot, if I'm not mistaken. And he took it up on his own to say something to her, but her husband was in the store. And he came out. And when he came out, he like, hey, man, what you doing? And he pushed him down and he shot him. Said he felt threatened. That's why he have 20 years. I still feel like 20 years is not long enough. Because that person that you killed never coming back. You was found guilty. So that means it wasn't a good shooting. Now, if the person had a gun, that's completely different. But this person was unarmed, and he shot him. So he should have got a deepest, longer sentence. That's my opinion of it. Let me know how y'all feel about it, because some of these guys, they get a slap on the wrist and they're done. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter. Some of them feel like they're gonna get off anyway, but we need stricter laws to hold everyone accountable. You do the crime, you do the time. Bottom line, and that's all to it. That's the way we need to do it. That's the way we need to look at it, and don't worry about anything else. 40 years. Did he get 40 or 20? Because I'm looking at 20. Or are you talking about something else? Explain the 40 years for me, dirty son. But I think they should, when you take a life that is not justified, you should get the max. That's all to it. Okay, he said he should have got 40 years. That was in Charles Hunt as what city that was in. That was actually in Florida. That's another problem. I want to say it was Clearwater, Florida. Yes, it was Clearwater, Florida. It happened July the 19th, 2018. And he killed that brother for defending his wife. You got to understand, you can't mess with our queens. And that brother did exactly right. Got to stand up for your queen. And for this guy to shoot and kill him for standing up for his wife, and he was unarmed. You know, back in the days when I was growing up, you get into a fight, uh, you basically take that L and go on. Take the L and go on. Radio said I watched that trial. He showed no remorse at all. A lot of them don't. A lot of them don't show it until they hear how much time they finna get, and that's across the board. That's across the board. A lot of people that commit certain crimes, they don't show remorse until they hear how much time they finna get. And once they hear that time, they like, "Ooh, man, I shouldn't have done that." No, you know, hey, you do the crime, you have to do the time, and that's all to it. You're welcome, Charles. He said, "Thank you for the information." It's uh, definitely information. That's what the show is all about. We do put highlights on certain cases that most people don't hear about. Um, that's all they did. Said somebody beat him up in jail with a padlock in the sock. That's it. They must have given him that VIP treatment where Big Bubba was waiting on him. So it might have been Big Bubba that did it, trying to make sure he understand who's in charge. So it's this is really this thing is out of hand. We all need to get out and vote. Make sure our voices are heard. I know Radio can't vote because he's in Canada, but we really need to get out and vote and make sure we send a message to Trump and all of his followers to make sure they understand we're not going to go for this. No, you can't. You can't. You got to man up. You should have did that when you was out. You should have. Once you got pushed down, you should have went ahead and took your loss and kept going. Welcome to the show, Neva Patel. I've been seeing you coming on quite a bit. Thank you for coming on. Definitely share with a friend. Click the notification for you can know when we come on. She's watching on Facebook, so definitely continue to support the show. Watch us. Let a friend know that we're on. And if it's ever a subject you want us to speak on, let us know. You can send us an email. Matter of fact, Radio, I need for you to send me an email. Send me your email. And definitely let me put it back. Oh, it's still up. Definitely send us an email if you have a subject you want us to talk about. I'm still working out with the counselors. They've been very busy, so they're trying to rearrange their schedule for they can come back on. What's going on, Mr. Smith? Thank you for coming back. You was on last night. Yes, let's go vote. We got to vote. Got to make a difference. Got to make some changes in this world to send our leaders a message to let them know that we're not going to stand for anything. We're gonna take a stand. We need laws change. Now, I know a lot of y'all are new to the show. Not just this election. We also need to vote for the local election because that is where our laws are made at. Our laws are made with the local election. We need to make sure we get them out. T. Cowlin snuck up in the room tonight. I'm here. Yes, please go vote. Welcome to the show, T-Cal. Um, so we definitely, I go vote every election we have. I don't care if we betting on voting on a dog park. I'm going to vote. Um, so we definitely need to get out, vote for the local election. Let them know, hey, we talk about it all the time. Here in Dallas, we have a community, um, no, a police oversight board, uh, a police oversight board here in Dallas. The best way to get involved with that, go on a city council meeting, getting to know your city council, getting to know your mayor, getting to know the police chief, and let them know we're not finna stand for anything in our city. We need to get involved, make sure they know your face, and if an incident happen in the city, you go talk to them, find out what's going on, make it where they know you. Basically, once something happen, they be like, "Oh shoot, here come Kurt, dog. Here he come." But then don't just do it when something negative happen in the city. Spend time with them, get to know them, and make sure they know for sure that you are watching everything they doing, the good and the bad. And because all policemen are not bad, I know a lot of good cops. Um, I talk about it all the time on the show where I was racial profiled, I guess about 18, 19 years ago here in Dallas. And because of the officers I know, they told me exactly what to do. And I went through the process, filed the complaint with Internal Affairs. Um, Along with that, I wrote a letter to each one of their supervisors, hand delivered the letter. I also wrote one to the mayor, the police chief, the city manager, and made sure they knew exactly who I was. And I hand delivered each one of these letters, and that made a difference. And I'm starting to notice in a lot of the cases that we've been hearing about lately, first thing they say, your license plate came back to a stolen car. Or just seen a video yesterday of a lady, I want to say it was in Michigan. Don't quote me on the city. A lady came over to help a friend out, had a robe on. She had a brand new Cadillac, bought it brand new, only had it for a couple of months, had the regular tires on it. She had a robe on, a t-shirt, and panties on. She went out to the car to get something. Soon as she closed the door, cop pull up, told her to put her hands on top of the car, told her that the car came back to a woman that have a warrant. This woman searched this woman, not only searched her, but she also raised her house coat up, exposing her. And when it was all said and done, she even put her in cuffs, put her in handcuffs. And when it was all said and done, the cop told her, well, you need to call DMV to get your registration right. And left like it wasn't nothing. But once again, all because she had a brand new Cadillac. And that's the reason why all that took place. Welcome to the show, Chiquita Lockett. Thank you for tuning in. I see your name pop up quite a bit also. Marcel Smith said, read the amendment that you are voting on. Exactly. You cannot just check boxes. We got to use our voice to make a change. That's why I say what we have to do Go online, download a sample ballot for your precinct, see who's on the ballot, do your research, do it before early voting start, do your precinct, do your research, and make sure. Um, Speaking of that, from now until October the 5th, until October the 5th, you could go to Foot Locker and register to vote. Check your registration. Make sure your voter registration haven't expired. Even if you feel like it's good, check it anyway to make sure it's still in good standing, and it's going to be in good standing come November the 3rd, because they trying to do a voter suppression, and basically they can say, oh, your registration is expired. Every time I get my license renewed, I renew my voter registration. Do it every time. If I'm somewhere, I just say, you know what? Let me go ahead and register to vote again. It's been a year or two. Make sure it stay fresh, and also go to jury duty. Don't try to get out of it. When you get called to jury duty, we know it don't pay much. That's $6. Don't do much for you at all, but hey, it's your duty. Go to jury duty. Don't try to get out of it, because you can make a difference. If you don't want to sit on jury duty, and if you ever have to come to trial and you look up and nobody looked like you, well, guess what? You could be innocent and still found guilty. That's all I'm saying. Gotta serve. T-Cal said, let them know you're watching, good or bad. Talking about the police department, exactly. Marcella Smith said, please register to vote. I'm tired of Trump and his carelessness. Exactly. When he admitted, see, that's another thing you have to realize, because if I'm not mistaken, well, I know I'm not mistaken. I guess over the weekend, Nancy Pelosi talking about impeachment to prevent him from picking, because here it is. I believe we just passed 200,000 lives that lost, are getting ready to pass it. So here it is. He lied about it. Then you have to look at when he did that interview with that radio announcer. He did 18 interviews where he told him the truth, but he turned around and lied to us. That seemed like that's classified information to me, because he should have been telling all of us the truth. He knew what he was doing, and then he turned around and telling us some BS, and look at all the lives been lost because of it. Then you turn around, you had a team in place that could have prevented this, but as soon as you got in office, you had such a hard on for President Obama. You started changing everything he did. You could have had a great presidential run if you left things the way they were. But instead, you decided to change everything. You fired the team that was in place. You haven't replaced the team. So that's telling me you don't care nothing about us. So you decide to just say, hey, we'll just tell them it's fake. It's fake. It's not real. I feel like a lot of this could have been avoided if he came out and said, hey, this virus is very serious. We all need to protect ourselves. Wear a mask, stay indoors. Let us get this virus out the way before we reopen everything up. And once again, here they come. Um, so I get to him. Radio said, it looked like the stimulus package is on the back burner now. They dragged their feet on that, but are ready to pick a new Supreme Court justice without delay. Exactly. Also when I talked about this interview I heard earlier, um, they talked about the fact how the grocery store workers, um, they wanted to do a bill for them to provide protection, because when most people talk about the front line, they only talk about doctor, nurses, policemen, fire, and that's it. But you got to look at the grocery store working, stocking the shelves, having to be there, putting their own life at risk, putting a family life at risk. Um, all those people, they offer a bill to offer them free health care. That's still sitting on the back burner. So, um, so we got at least one troll in the house. Uh, I guess he drinking that Kool-Aid. You keep on following the clown if you want to, and that's what he got to say. So, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Maybe you can afford it. But this election, we hear all the time during election, vote like your life depends on it. It really do this time. Yeah, it do. There's no way we could deal with Trump and his mess another 4 years. It's absolutely no way. But then again, while you wearing that mega hat, drinking that Kool-Aid, hey, do you? Do you? That's what you want to do? Hey, you like it, I love it. Do you? But we've seen history where some people did not want to wear a mask. They talked about this virus was fake. Then all of a sudden you see another post, the family asking for donation because this person is dead now and they don't have enough money to bury them. But go ahead, Mike, do you? I'll put it up again for in case somebody didn't see it. Vote Trump 2020. The devil is a lie. um, so Marcella Smith said he was so worried about undoing everything Obama did. Exactly. Now, last night, radio actually hit on this last night, and we're going to talk about it. And I didn't get a chance to read it because I have some great followers of the show. As soon as I cut my phone on in the morning, I start to get messages. And someone sent me a message this morning, and I didn't get a chance to hear the message, but I'm sure Thursday we'll talk about it. Where Ted Cruz was on CBS this morning, said some foolishness, and radio. We're going to talk about your neighbor. So I actually welcome Michelle Hinton. Welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. So I thought about what we mentioned last night, radio, about Ted Cruz is from Canada. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't realize that. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. I'm going to let it sink in for a minute. Trump should come up with a new catchphrase, make lashing out great again. Yeah. I don't know. Trump, he's a handful. it's going to be interesting come the night of November the 3rd until November the 4th, because it's going to be a long process of this election. Excuse me. But we welcome all your comment. Mike Hawk, thank you for tuning in. Please share it with a friend. Let a friend know that we are live. You can chat live with us on the throughout the show. Definitely send your comment in. It's your opinion, who you support, and I'm okay with it. Exactly. I actually pulled up the Wikipedia, and when I told the person that this morning, they was like, "He's not from here." Not at all. Wasn't even born here. And Raphael Edward Cruz is his real name. So he wasn't born here. He'll say he's Cuban, but he wanted supported putting up a wall. Let that sit in for a minute. He was one of the biggest supporter of getting the wall, but he claimed he's Cuban. And once I told the person that this morning, they went on his website. Never mentioned Canada. I wonder why. Never mentioned he was born in Canada. Yeah, but he ran for president in the United States. Okay. So, hey, they didn't talk about birth certificate then. They gave President Obama hell about his. Not one time did you ask Trump for his. All right. Oh, he did in 2012. You know what? I do remember that. That's the only way he was able to run for president. He had to denounce it. Yeah, I kind of do remember that since you mentioned it now. Yeah, but still, he don't mention nothing about it. He'll say he's Cuban. He'll say any other things besides Canada. So, but hey, that's a lot of people do that this day and time. They're afraid of their heritage. They don't want to talk about where they really from. Unfortunately, it's a lot of people like that. That's kind of like the other night I mentioned Trump talking about he want $5 billion from TikTok to teach history of to teach about the history of America. And the first thing came to my mind, which history are you talking about? Because I know Greg Abbott, when that teacher here in Wiley ended up doing a homework assignment that compared the Klansmen to killing blacks back then and to policemen killing black back then. Back today, Greg Abbott wanted that teacher fired. But here it is. We talked about it the other day on the show where a teacher just last week at W.T. White High School here in Dallas gave a homework assignment and called Kyle Rittenhouse a hero. And also the guy that was killed that was allegedly a sex offender called him a hero. Had several names on there, but they talked about those two in particular. Lindsey Graham said as a joke, you could murder Ted Cruz on the floor of the Senate and there will be no trial. Well, you know, Trump said he could commit murder in the middle of a street in New York. Same thing. Nobody would care. So It's no different. And she probably said that only because of his race, his true race, not the one he pretending to be, but his true race. That's probably the only reason why she said that. And nobody said anything about it. Excuse me. Um, yeah, a lot of people feel that way. That's why I think a lot of these senseless killing that is happening, people are doing those type of things. Feel like nothing will happen. Exactly. Um, he's not well liked by nobody actually, and for him to do some of the things he do, let me break it down. Because Ted Cruz, if people don't know his background, he's automatically classified as possible a white guy. But when they hear the last name, they're like, Cruz, something not right. But then he can say, oh, my mom got married, got adopted, last name Cruz, whatever. So because he can almost pass for a white guy, a lot of people don't realize it unless they know his true background. And that's the problem that we have here in America. Because of your race, the color of your skin, that's how people classify you as. They don't care how much money you have. They don't care how smart you are. Only thing they care about, the color of your skin. That's it. Kind of like when y'all won the championship last year, the basketball team, Toronto. The president coming down to the floor, and the officer pushed him, and he had his badge. And the officer pushed him. Then that officer turned around and tried to sue him. For an assault. But once the body cam came out, which they tried to hide it, that lawsuit, I believe it was thrown out. That officer should have been fired. Here it is, this man, because of the position and because of the color of his skin, the guy was treated as if he was doing something wrong. They didn't care how this man would dress. He had his badge, showed the officer his badge. He didn't care. He pushed the guy. And the cop tried to lie and say he pushed him. No. That's the problem. So that officer should have been fired. Matter of fact, he should have been arrested for making a false report. Because here it is. This dude just trying to celebrate with his team. That's it. That's all he was trying to do. But because the color of his skin, that officer did not care. They automatic assume he was trying to do something wrong. Welcome to the show, Charity Don. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. Definitely like, share, tell a friend. You can also live chat with us in the chat. A lot of new names coming up, which is great. You're always welcome. Your opinions are always welcome. We're going to talk about things that most people don't want to talk about. Radio said Obama was was at one of the games in the finals in Toronto. He got a standing ovation. People here like Obama as president. Hell, I like him too. I like him, and I wish he could come back. I was rooting and praying that Michelle would run just to get him back, because we need them more than anything. right now, and we need to get Trump out of here. So, so definitely get out and vote. Get out and vote. Before the election start, I'm actually gonna print out the ballot and for my area, and hopefully, y'all do the same. Do your research on them, and let's get the ones out. It's a young lady here that's running. She says she's not a politician. She's a businesswoman. I can't even think of her name. But she's saying she's a businesswoman. She's a businesswoman, but we seen how a business person runs certain things. Look at Trump. That's the same thing he said. He's a businessman. He's not a politician. He said, vote Trump out, make him take his tent in bed and leave the White House. And don't forget that his toupee or his wigs or that that rug he put on top of his head, take him out and have him leave. He got to go. He need to go. Not only him, but we need to go down the list. We need to go down the complete list. How he was saying he was gonna clean the swamp. Welcome to the show, Tommy Tanner. Thank you for tuning in. You can live chat with us in the chat room tonight. We've actually talked about Louisville, Kentucky declared a state of emergency ahead of the decision in Breonna Taylor case. Talked about Amy Barrett could roll back abortion rights and invalidate the Affordable Care Act. Betsy DeVos. Oh, we haven't even got to that yet. We'll get to that one in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. He said that cotton candy rug. The cotton candy rug. Yeah. Trump need to go. We need to show him exactly how to clean the swamp because it's time for him to go. Now, we haven't talked about old Bessie yet, but she's I'm trying to pull up the story on her. She's the Secretary of Education, and now she's up on the investigation. Yep. I never heard of this before. The Hash Act. She's she's up under investigation because of a interview she did on Fox News. She's not supposed to be political in that position, but she did a interview on Fox News. The Hash Act of 1939. Yeah. It's she's still considered as a civil service employee, executive branch of the federal government, except the president and vice president from engaging in some form of political activity. So she's been investigated. You gotta pay close attention to this because you've seen all the Trump friends in the past. What he do? They get convicted or are getting ready to go to trial. He get them out. And with Betsy DeVos, she want all these charter schools, want to get rid of the the independent school district, and she want to use charter school for education, where she can make money. Kind of like several months ago. Welcome, Nisha Love. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hopefully, y'all had a safe flight. Um, so that's very interesting. Where um, it's kind of like a private school where some of them do scholarships, some of them you have to pay out of pocket. It just depends, but it's a way where um, it's not necessarily ran by. I don't know if y'all have it in Canada. Um, it's not like an independent school district. They get funding. They get. I want to say they mostly. Um, they are a public school of choice, meaning the families them for their children. They operate with freedom from some of the regulation that are imposed upon district schools. So they are a lot of them. It's something about the funding. I don't know if they get more. I don't know a lot about them, but that's what she. As soon as she got in that position, that's what she started pushing, wanting to have more charter schools instead of independent school district. Um, I know private school you definitely got to pay for, but that's what she's trying to do. I want to say her and her husband actually own some, allegedly own some, and they was trying to get it to be another edition of their schools or something. So she, just like Trump, all about the dollar bill. That's all it is. Nah, I think I did. Okay. Yeah, she is, because she went on Fox News, did an interview, didn't know she wasn't supposed to deal with political. Because here it is, you have someone that is over education, and you're talking about political views, and your political views are strictly on one party, but you over education, you got to be for everybody. What's best for those students? And you're not looking at it like that. You're one sided. So she's being investigated. T. Cal said, I just died at the cotton candy rug. Said, yes, she's terrible. Radio asked what is charter school. Radio said we have private school, but they are still under the regulation of the province. It's a little bit, according to this, they can reduce class sizes. They have smaller classes than traditional public school. This allows students to have more one-on-one time with their teachers by having the ability to focus on the individual student need. In some cases, because I guess about 3 or 4 months ago, there's a charter school. There's a charter school that trying to move into a certain neighborhood, a low income area. And with them trying to move into that area, it's basically saying this charter school that is failing, that have a low rating, is going into a low income area that is going to make it look like, because the school have a bad rating, they just want to drop it off into the bad neighborhood, which first thing people are going to say, oh, look at the schools over there. So charter schools are not that good. Some of them may be great, but some of the ones I hear about, it's all about money. It's all about money. They say smaller class, but um, I I don't know. I didn't have the opportunity of that, um, so it's a lot of different things on it. I'm not familiar with it. I just know she was trying to push it because I believe her and her husband have some charter schools. So, what a charter school, anybody can open up a charter school, call it a school, get the permits for it, and it's a school. That don't mean that school gonna perform like they should. That don't mean this school is gonna be up to standard. Now, if it's someone out there that either work at a charter school or worked at a charter in the independent school district that knows, definitely put it in the chat. Give us the information. What's the good and the bad about it? Maybe we need to do a show strictly on that. Talk about the charter school, the difference, charter versus public. But I know that once, and also they say that the pay is a little bit better for the teachers, but I think the teachers are some of the most underpaid career to be in, regardless if it's charter or private, or not private, but public school, because they just don't get paid enough. A lot of stuff they have to deal with. Matter of fact, I seen a video where a teacher's telling parents, hey, your kids' class start at 8 a.m., not at 8:15, not at 8:30, not at 9:15, 9:30. It started at 8. Have them ready, dressed for school, and ready to learn. And don't be in the cameras making faces behind them. So that's the type of things that we're having to deal with today, because parents, because they are doing virtual school, they not taking it serious enough. They think it's a joke. Oh, don't tell our school teachers that. He said up in Canada they can make up to 70 grand a year. Yeah. Man, you finna open up the border up there. Gonna have all our school teachers coming up there. Don't do that. 70 grand, that's good money. I think at one point, starting off for a school teacher here, I don't want to be wrong. Let me pull it up and I'll tell you what they pay. I know my in-laws are educators. Okay. In the state of Texas, average starting salary is $40,725 for a school teacher. Utah, $35,722. Vermont, $38,483. And Virginia, $39,398. That's the starting pay. So you're talking about 70,000. That's extra 30,000 people can get right off the bat, plus free health care. They have a union, but I don't know much about their union. I don't know much about them at all. I know you'll see them every once in a while come on the news about something going on, but I don't know much about the teacher union in America. I don't know if they all use the same one or if it varies by state. I'm not sure. I don't know much about it, but 70,000 looking pretty good. Trying to think. Shoot, maybe I need to come up there and be a teacher. um, well, see, that's a good thing. When you have a strong union, you're gonna get the money that you're paying for, and I'm sure, I don't know about up there, but I know here a lot of our teachers, they have to buy supplies for students. Sometimes some students come to class, they can afford the school supplies. The teacher pay for that out of pocket. Um, even some, I know somebody real close to me that is a school teacher, and I think her first year of teaching, she asked her friends and family for donation to try to get clothes for students that can afford it, uniforms, because a lot of schools here required it. They wear uniforms, and these particular students cannot afford them, so she took up donation. Um, so you need a good union, somebody who's gonna fight for you, and let them know that, hey, you're not finna get over on us. We're gonna take a stand on this. We're gonna be like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. And we have a lot of um, male teachers, but we need more black male teachers in the schools here, because a lot of times you get certain people trying to teach certain group of people, and they have no sense. Some teachers just have one way of teaching instead of teaching for a student can actually learn. You have to have, yeah, you want to teach them right, but you also want to teach them where they can understand it better than just going by down your lesson plan and do this, do that, do that. You have to be able to cater to the student to make sure they can learn and understand it. So, um, but hey, sound like Canada looking better and better every time we talk. 70,000 a year for teachers. Now, is that starting out, or is that once you get up in there? Is that the starting pay? Because that's 70,000 sound pretty good. I know my in-laws both was educated. Well, they retired now, but they was in education, and they didn't have a good union either. And I've heard many of teachers just talk about all the money they spend out trying to support the kids, make it easy for them to learn, all the supplies they have to pay for. That's why here, every year when school get ready to start and throughout the year, some organizations that have tax-free for teachers or get them discounts and stuff like that. He said he think it's between 55 and 60,000, which is that's still more than what teachers start out here in America. And then they also have to pay for healthcare with that. Healthcare is very expensive. That's a very big business. Healthcare can cost you, for a family of two with no kids, it could cost you $200 to $300 every pay period or more. Then you got to turn around and pay a high deductible. The insurance just not good. That's why I asked the question: should we have the insurance connected to our job? I think if they came up with a health plan where everybody can get free health covered, I think it'd be much better. But then a lot of doctors, they don't want, a lot of them, they want to make as much money as they can, and I'm not knocking that. That's what you went to school for. I feel like they should offer free college, because a lot of these college are big business. That's why they talk about it every year. These athletes should get paid because they bring in those colleges a lot of money. Yeah, some get scholarships, but it's people that have, I know, probably finished college 15, 20 years ago, still paying student loans because all the money they accumulated from going to school, and they still having to pay their student loan after 15, 20 years. And that's making a payment every week, every month. So that interest rate is high. It's a big business. Oh, wow. If you were out of work here, would only cost you $20 a month. Now it's completely free. They are also starting to look at providing affordable dental care. See, I wish we had leaders that can look at the same thing. And you're talking about the insurance, the health insurance, completely free, and now they're trying to provide affordable dental care. I know the dentist I used to use, and I went there for a teeth cleaning, and he ended up, I had to get a filling in. He never could fill it right. And after about the third or fourth time of going back to him for that same tooth, I'm like, dude, I'm done. I found me another dentist. And that's what I did. Went somewhere else. Because I'm like, why am I going to continue to come back to you and you cannot get it fixed? It's a filling. If you know what you're doing, put a filling in it. Let's move on. So I just said, forget it. Going to the dentist is high. A couple of years ago, I had to get a cap on. I think it costs about $1,200-$1,300 for a cap. And I was talking with this guy that actually worked for the company that make the cap. Now, this is the kicker about it. The guy said, man, you know, when people, we just so happened to be talking. We was at a local bar or something, and we was talking, and the guy was like, man, I work for this company. They make caps when you have to go to the dentist and get a cap put on your tooth. We make those. I said, oh yeah. I said, man, I just had a cap put on. He said, it costs you a lot of money too, then. I said, yeah. He said, man, if I'm not mistaken, I said, the dentist pay about $20 to $30 per cap. But you go get one put on, okay, I know it's going to go up a little bit, but you're getting charged $1,200, $1,300 for a cap. It's a little work got to be done. But I'm like, man, they making a killing. I should have became a dentist. Everybody be snaggerpuss. But hey, I'm not knocking they hustle. That's what they doing. They are hustling about it. So, but still, I think if we had a affordable healthcare and dental plan, that would eliminate things from like that from happening. Up and charging way too much. But I want to make sure you did get my email radio. Make sure you send me an email, and so definitely make sure you have it, so I can respond back to you and chit chat with you about something. But definitely, I'm gonna leave it up there for a minute. Tonight, I had some other stories I was going to talk about, but at least one officer in Lafayette, I believe, got a 911 call to a skating rink or somewhere, and got there. He targeted this 16-year-old black guy and decided to harass him. Think he got a report about a man with a gun, and he decided to go after this black guy, which was not the suspect. He decided to um, beat this guy. I'm talking about just start swinging on him, and I'm like, man, these guys just don't care. Um, and I'm like, um, trying to pull the story up. Um, and he just basically just said, you know what? I'm going to um, beat this guy, even though he wasn't. I don't want to watch it. Da, da, da. It just happened. Should I hate to go to that, but he basically just started swinging on this guy like he was in a boxing match. The guy was on the ground. He beat him. Well, the police department did take a stand. They did put him on a paid vacation, which that always happened. They go on vacation for a couple of months and let them get their stuff in order to fill out other jobs where they can go and um, work for um, at the police department before they allow him to um, quit, and then he go ahead and get on with a different police department. So I'm trying to find that story. I know I have it on okay, yes, it was a Lafayette police officer. This happened in Lafayette, Louisiana, and it happened on the 7th. He basically got upset, got a 911 call. Officer show up, given a description, wasn't the guy, and he attacked the 16-year-old kid. And he had been put on vacation for attacking this kid, which he should be charged. Injury to a child. Radio mentioned I had a dentist from the States here, but he got his training from the military. He was still a member of the National Guard. He got sent to Iraq, so I had to find a new guy. He probably knew exactly what he was doing, too. Because normally the ones from the military, they have some pretty good training, and hopefully he made it back safely. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find good people to do great work. It's just one of those hard things to do because some people look at it, oh, I could keep bringing this person back and I could keep charging the insurance. I do a horrible job, and every time he come in, that's an office visit. That's an office visit. That's I could charge the insurance again, make more money. And unfortunately, that's the type of doctors that we have to deal with today. And it's not good. It's not good at all. So that's how it's been lately. But definitely do your research. I don't blame you because when you have a good one, you have to keep them. But also he had to go serve the country. Unfortunately, but it's hard to find good doctors. I know for myself, if I have to go to the doctor, I go to the Texas um, licensing and do a research on him. Look at his history. Make sure he's legit. Make sure whatever I'm going in there for, he's qualified. No complaints against him. If he have multiple complaints, I'm good. I'll go somewhere else. I would not use him. I don't care if he going to check my temperature. If he got complaints, he can't do it. He's not qualified. He had too many complaints on his records. So definitely check out the medical board license. And if you're in Texas, go to Texas Medical Board. You can pull up any doctor license and look at their history. And some of these doctors, you'll be like, ooh, what made you go there? So, yeah. All right. You'll be like, you may not want to use that doctor because he's no good. But so that's what we dealt with tonight. As we get ready to wind down. Normally I don't do a show on Wednesday, so we will be back on Thursday. Miss Risky will be in the house. Also, we're gonna have another guest on Thursday. I mentioned it last night about this program that is here in Dallas. I believe it started up in New York and someone decided to do it here, where they have a community, and I may be saying it wrong, community refrigerator thing, where in the southern part of Dallas, they have in certain parts, there's no close grocery stores. It may be anywhere from 1 to 5 miles away, depends on where you're located. So, and unfortunately, some people may not be able to get to the grocery store because it's so far. So we call that a food desert. And this young lady, she actually started this program. And I mentioned last night I was going to go there. Once I found out about it, I was going to go and donate. And it's actually a pretty good program. I said last night, just non-perishable food. But they also had a refrigerator there. So you could bring perishable food that will be in an icebox. And the people in the community, they could come up, get what they need, and use that, because right now, a lot of people have to make decisions. They have to make a decision if they're going to pay their rent or buy food, buy their medication or buy food. So it's tough out here for a lot of people. And this young lady started this program to actually be able to help ease the pain on some residents. So it's a nice setup. It's just like a table, non-perishable food on the table. You can have canned good fruit, canned good, rice, beans, some fruits. I think I've seen some fruit out there that don't need to be refrigerated, or they had them in the refrigerator. And basically, somebody who needs something, they could come up, get what they need. Now they have a meal that could last them for a day or two, whatever. And it's all free. And if you're able to, please donate to this cause, because there's a lot of people that are actually suffering right now. There's a lot of people going to bed hungry, a lot of kids going to bed hungry. But if they able to get some type of meal, it can ease them a little bit. And with talking with the young lady, I said last night I was going to make a donation. So I did. Went there, went to Kroger's, bought some rice, beans, canned goods, and put them on the table. They told me the guy came out to help me to put it on there. It helped set it up. They had other stuff out there, and you just come up, pick what you need. They had a grocery bag on the side. You just take a bag, put what you need in the bag, and that's it. No question asked. But if you're able to donate to that cause, definitely tune in on Thursday. Jasmine will be in the house on Thursday, and she's going to let you know about this program. So definitely tune in and find out ways you can help. Or if you know someone who need help, this can be a way where they can get food. So if you are a business or a restaurant that have food left over, or however it is, I'm going to let Jasmine speak about that. But if you're able to donate for the cause, let's do it. Let's support the people in our community. And we have to come on one accord and help each other. I say all the time, I live by Matthews 25:40. Do it to the least of these, as if you're doing it unto me. That's why when I found out about it, I said, hey, I'm going to do what I can. Whatever I can do to help this organization, I'm going to do what I can. So Miss Jasmine should be on the show Thursday. So get on the show as soon as we come on, because she's going to be on there first thing when we come on the show. She's going to talk about it, talk about ways you can help. I know this one that is currently operating is at Marcellus in Ann Arbor and Dallas, and it's at the Pan-African store. I'll tell y'all about Pan-Africa later, but it's at the Pan-African store, and very good customer service. I told Jasmine, look, I can't go over there too much, spend too much money, because Pan-Africa, they have a lot of different product. So nice store, nice owner. I just can't. I'm not rich. I can't go in there and just be like, oh, that look good. No. My wife would get upset and be like, wait a minute, what happened to all the money? Well, that's it over there in the bag. So, but it's a really nice store. Definitely go out, support this call. Come on the show Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Miss Jasmine will be here to talk about the program and ways that you can help. The program started in New York, and she said she's also October the 3rd gonna have a location out there in DeSoto, October the 3rd. So she's gonna talk about all of that on Thursday on the show. So definitely tune in Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you have questions for her, get them together. Let's ask her all the questions you need to know about this program, and let's support them, because I feel like it's a great cause. When you giving back to the community, helping people, let's do what we can. Let's do what we can to help them. It's a wonderful cause. My opinion, it's a wonderful cause, because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to get. I just said I'll just go get some non-perishable food. And I went up there and Kroger's were like, you sure have a lot of rice and beans. Hey, it's for a good cause. And they was like, fine. I got them, took them up there, didn't know what to expect. And Mr. Robert came out and said, we'll just put them on the table. Let me help you get them out your vehicle. He came out, helped him get them out. And I'm going to talk about Mr. Robert later because he gave me some information. So I'm going to talk about him on another show and see if we can actually try to get him on the show also. But definitely listen Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Miss Jasmine will be here in the house on the show live, and we can actually see what we could do to help her help the community. That's what it's all about. Because first thing came, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, so y'all just want to put this on the table, and what if somebody just come up and take it off? And they said, no, we've been doing it for a while. People understand it's an honest system. They understand it's for the community. They come up, they get what they need, and they leave. Some people come up that have donated. They just come up, donate. They never even know someone dropped something off. So it's a really good cause to help the community because there's a lot of people out here struggling to put food on the table. I'm like, hey, some pinto beans, some rice go a long way. I'm just saying that old saying back in the Western days, that's all they ate, pinto beans and rice. It can go a long way. It can feed quite a bit. So definitely join us on Thursday when Miss Jasmine come on with Miss Risky. Get your questions together. She's gonna tell you how you can help. The address of the location starting on the 3rd over in DeSoto. Gonna have all that information, and let's get together and support this cause. It's a wonderful thing. I personally feel like it's a great cause because you're giving back to the community, and that's what it's for. So, well, it's been about 2 hours, so yeah, my mouth is dry, and but hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. All the new people, radio. Don't forget to send me an email. I'm not sure if you got the email, but send me an email and I'm going to respond back to you as soon as I get it. Radio, TCal, Charles Hunt, Miss Lockett, David Hunt, Neva Patel, Michelle Hinton, Charity Dunn, Tommy Tanner, Nisha Love, Mr. Smith, Mike Hawk. Even though you're supporting Trump, hey, you're more than welcome to come in. Marcella Smith, Dirty Son, Big Bag of Tricks. And anybody else that I miss, because I have several streams. I'm looking at D-Pat. If you left a chat, I can see you. Who was on here? Davis 77057. Want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. And okay, appreciate it, radio. Thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I will see y'all again, if the good Lord say the same, 8 o'clock Thursday night with Miss Risky, with a special guest, Miss Jasmine to talk about the refrigerated. Um, I have to get the proper name of her project done, but we're going to talk about the program that she have. So until Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, I love each and every one of you. Until then,